honest to God, first edition of Mahomes Mountain, I did have Caleb a row higher, but then I decided I don't want to just have to argue with you guys all day about it, so I'm just going to leave him where he is.
Fair.
Drake May, Bo Nix, these are all year 2 guys. Trevor Lawrence, it's his second ever healthy year, so he's essentially a year 2 guy. Tua Tagovailoa and Wilds guy Sam Darnold, who I also, again, not left to right, but oddly enough, I did debate Kyler versus Darnold. Again, not left to right.
Not left to right.
All right, top.
Yeah, we obviously know it's left to right. And I want to talk about Bo Nix here because there's another segment that I want to show you that Nick said as well. So, Nick right now apparently has Bo Nix as bottom half of the NFL in terms of quarterback ranking. And it is, again, we know it's left to right. That's what the constant joke is. And so he's got him behind Caleb May, and he did want to put Caleb even above Bo Nix, etc., etc. And to me, at this point, pretty absurd. It's absurd for a lot of reasons. And I just want to look even at these young quarterbacks right now. The ones who really only have played 1 or 2 years as starters. And that's Jaden Daniels, CJ Stroud, Jordan Love, Caleb, Drake May, and Bo Nix. And the reality is, and I think, and because we've obviously seen more of Jordan Love and CJ Stroud, like, I'm mega high on them. I think they're great, truly. And I think they'll be great. And I defended how last season unfolded. But the reality is, at the end of the day, if we're really going to back ourselves in a corner and really only go by what we're seeing and not what we believe the potential is, because that's what this is, the rankings. This isn't potential quarterback rankings here. Outside of Jaden Daniels, who obviously had a lot of success, had some really incredibly high-level moments and took his team deep into the playoffs to the NFC Championship game, I can understand why you're going to put Jaden Daniels above that. But at a minimum, you would put those quarterbacks pretty much on the same tiers together. But in no way did Caleb or Drake May or CJ Stroud or Jordan Love, specifically last year, show that they were better than Bo Nix. Now, again, you can believe that Caleb will be better than Bo Nix or Drake May, or that CJ Stroud and Jordan Love, or you think CJ Stroud's first year was clearly shows how great he is, but then the second year, because of injuries to his roster and O-line, etc., etc. And that's why I still always go back and forth between, like, looking at this mountain as a rich tapestry, aka just make everything up whenever you want it to be, or just really focusing on what are we seeing right now. And like I've said now, because I've done this mountain a handful of times so far, this coming season, I'm really going to be pretty firm on, I'll play the game for a little bit with what he's doing, and then I'm going to be strict as it's this season. And it's changing week to week to week. That to me is so much more fun to see. If Bryce Young in the first 2 games is absolutely balling out and has 4 touchdowns and 700 passing yards or whatever, and his team's 2-0, and all the other quarterbacks are pretty good, but just not like that. He's number 1. He's at the top of the mountain, man. That like, to me, that feels so much more fun and interesting to kind of have everyone kind of go up and down, try to figure out, is it more impressive that Bryce Young threw for 350 yards against, like, I don't know, some bad, the Saints or something, or is it more impressive that Josh Allen threw for 200 yards but against a slightly better team? Like, I just think it's a more interesting conversation to try to figure out, honestly, and try to wrestle with. But I think if we're just looking at it, it's just like, I think it's crazy to me, because then again, it's like, are we going by potential, or are we going by what we've seen in the past? Because also, if you're going by potential, which is why you would have a Ward up there, or a JJ McCarthy there, or whatnot, it's like, okay, then where is the potential for Bo Nix? Because as of right now, I'm taking Bo Nix over Dak Prescott. I just am. Just by the sheer fact of what Bo Nix can do physically right now compared to what I believe, Dak Prescott at the point of where he's at with his age and injury history and whatnot. I'm like, all right, I'm rolling with Bo Nix, just even for the sheer fact that I trust his physicality way more at this point. And, Stafford is about to not look so good. I mean, he's got like a year or two left, and then it's like, and if even that feels like you're kind of like, oh man, please hold on for at least one more year right now. I mean, like, it's pretty widely seen that the Rams will be drafting a quarterback next year. And if there was a better quarterback in this year's draft that they really liked, they would have drafted one, but that was reportedly not what was, it was not interesting enough to McVay. And I think that's totally fair. So, I mean, I don't know. It's just, and again, I think we could say, okay, you know what? Caleb had a tough season. Bo Nix was clearly in a better situation. Same thing with Drake May as well. Bo Nix had the better coach, the better O-line, just a more organized team, right? A team that was just way more organized. That's fair, and I grant that. But that's what we saw last season. And again, if we're going to be playing by these rules, well, then Bo Nix has to be ahead of them. Like, it's just, okay. Like I said, if this was who we believe will be better one day, that's a different conversation. But that's not what this is. It's not. It's clearly not what it is. Because Nick even admitted that if he was drafting a quarterback, he did this in a completely different segment. If he was drafting a quarterback, he would pick Stafford over Jalen Hurts. So like so it's clearly like what you've accomplished. Like it's why I continued, man, to keep struggling with where these rankings are, because it's just, like I said, man, my brain needs to make sense out of the logic, and when I can't, I just keep chewing on something and chewing on something and chewing on something, and it becomes like so difficult. I mean, and again, right now I'm looking at the mountain as a whole beyond just Bo Nix, and it's just like, I'm like, how, no, I'm not even going to go on it. It's just the disrespect that I know, or the lack of respect that Nick has for Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos. Like, listen to what he says here.
I think
he had 16 points in 3 minutes.
see,
It's nothing. I'm telling you, let that momentum rolling.
And it's very, very involved to pick the Bo Nix and the Broncos or Justin Herbert and the Chargers to win that division, and they're not even the favorites to win the AFC. So
that was in the context of, it's essentially like not okay to ever question Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, it's just somehow like insane to think that someone like Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos could ever have any success. And again, do not come to me about the previous levels of success that the Kansas City Chiefs had. I do not care. It means nothing to me. If Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos had been there for the last 5 years, okay, then maybe. But even then, I would still not really care, because I'd be like, if I believe this, well, then it's like I believe that something has changed. Like, Bo Nix has gotten better, or Bo Nix got a better coach, or they finally got a good defense, or, something that would have had to have changed. But then, like, we see nonsense comments like this, okay? I was going to make this into a separate video, but we'll just do it here. I made a Bo Nix video, and this was what someone said in the comment section. 1, Broncos' schedule was soft and couldn't beat a team over 500. 2, he was a check-down merchant. 3, Sean Payton knew he was a turnover machine on anything 4 yards past the line of scrimmage. 5, his deep ball is terrible, the amount of times he overthrew the receiver. 6, the Browns game. 7, the O-line pass protection was top 3. In conclusion, the narrative is he's a Sean Payton check-down merchant. I mean, you want to know just how wrong this is? Here, I'll leave this absurd thing up. It's so simple to disprove this, just even statistically. Bo Nix was top 7 in deep ball passing, 20-plus yards in PFF ranking. He was 1 below top 3, 1 touchdown less than top 3. for touchdowns. He had 8, which put him at 7. If he had one more, it would have been a 4-way tie for top 3. But even so, he had 8, and the most in the NFL was 10. Okay? He had 932 yards that came from deep ball passing. Top 4 in the NFL. Completion percentage. Top 8. Again, these are all deep ball stats, so I'm not going to just keep saying deep ball, deep ball, deep ball. 42. Completions. Top 3. So I'm just like trying to figure out what are we making up here? Passer rating 103, 103.3, top 9. So what are we saying here? Because it doesn't really make any sense at all. At all. And he had a lot of attempts here. He was top 3 in attempts, top 2, because he was tied. And that's the thing. Here's Caleb Williams now. This is what's really perfect about this. His deep ball accuracy, not so good. 6 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 606 yards, a completion percentage of 26.7. I mean, even when we do the adjusted completion percentage and control for drop passes, he was at 28%. Bo Nix was 47.9. Bo Nix was still top 7. So even if we completely reduce, and it's not like Bo Nix is sitting there. It's not like he has A.J. Brown and Justin Jefferson, right? Like no one can say that Bo Nix was just flushed with weapons out there. So I'm just, again, I'm just not entirely sure what we're saying here. It just doesn't really make any sense. And what I also like about some of these plays here, some of these when we kind of isolate like a single aspect of a game, like deep ball passing or something, which to be fair, some people think, and I've had this conversation with other people, especially Travis O'Shea recently, that like these type of stats are a little bit overrated because at the end of the day, like this is clearly not the foundation of how you're playing football, right? I mean, you can see the attempts here, 68, 44, 53, 46, 42, 65, like none of them have 100. None of them, most of them don't even have 50 or so, 60, 70 depends. And then you see the attempts, 545, 453, 578, 567, even Bo Nix, right? 567 attempts, only 73 of them were deep ball. So it's like, it matters, but it's not the end all be all. You could be a great deep ball passer, like someone like Russell Wilson notoriously, but like it's you need more than just that. But what I do like about this though is because it does feel like deep ball, because deep ball passing is a little bit, I don't necessarily want to say straightforward, but it's just kind of like, are you throwing the ball accurately, deeply, and in a way where your wide receiver can catch it? Like, yeah, we could say the scheme can help free up guys and whatnot. That's why I think adjusted percentage might make the most amount of sense for a deep ball passing and whatnot. Touchdowns, depending on who you're throwing to and whatnot, could be a little bit inflated and stuff. But it does feel like it's a little bit harder to game. You're either going to be able to throw the deep ball accurately in a way that will be reliably caught or not. And with an adjusted completion percentage, it controls for, well, listen, you need to have some dudes who can catch the ball, right? Like, yes or no, like, because you could be a beautiful deep ball throw, but you just have wide receivers that just aren't great at catching it. And so with an adjusted completion percentage, it kind of controls for that. So I just think it's a little bit harder to game. I don't think like you don't really see anyone kind of like sneaking in there. And I think that's pretty fair to say, especially when you're looking at a large enough sample size, honestly. So this comment right here really does not hold much weight whatsoever, but there still seems to be such a strong notion that someone like Bo Nix, it's just like, it's a joke that anyone would consider him to be a good quarterback in the NFL, or that he could lead this Denver Broncos team to success or even winning a division. Like, it's just like his name is Bozo Jabobo. They're like, Bozo Jabobo, are you kidding me? Like, when they're making fun of Bailey Zappi because his name was Bailey Zappi. It was like, no quarterback named Bailey Zappi is going to be successful. I mean, think about how when we say other people's quarterbacks' names, like Mac Jones, Bailey Zappi, it's just like these guys, like we put this like cartoon persona on them. And maybe because his name is Bo Nix, that we're just like, Bo Nix? Like, are you serious? And it's like, yeah, watch how he played. Watch how he got better week after week after week. Watch how he played in big games. In games that were going back and forth. In games that were literally the definition of pressure cooker games. Was he perfect? No. Was he flawless? No. Did he have moments when you're just like, oh man, this is going to be hard to defend on Monday? Absolutely. Absolutely. But did he also have moments when you're like, that is big time? That is huge. That is what a star quarterback in the NFL does. Absolutely. Absolutely. And he was leading the Broncos. He, individually, was leading the Broncos to a potential upset against the Buffalo Bills in that first half. Undeniably. The team around him failed in that first half. They weren't able to really tie or take the lead. And then, of course, the Buffalo Bills were able to just break the dam wide open. And that's how it happens in football. That's how it happens. And then it makes it feel like, oh, you know, they never had a chance. They weren't good. And it's like, no, they did. That first half, they were there. Bo Nix was doing everything. Bo Nix was so impressive in that game. And if we don't weight you being impressive in a playoff game, it's like, then I just don't know what matters anymore. Because throughout the regular season, all we do is say, well, go wait until playoffs. And then playoffs come around, and it's like, well, it was just the playoffs. And it's like, well, then what matters? What, like, I don't understand what matters then. If it's not the regular season, if it's not the playoffs, like, then what matters? I'm asking you guys. It's not a rhetorical question. Please, can someone to give me the answer? I need to know. I need to know what matters. I mean, it is interesting. They make fun of Brew because he thinks that you have like the clear like future Hall of Famers, right? Mahomes, Josh Allen, whatever. I'm not naming any other quarterbacks, so just leave it there. And then you got the bad quarterbacks who you're like, oh my god, these guys even going to be starters? Like, nobody wants them. And then everyone else. And that's why he said, like, from 5 to, Bruce said, like, earlier, like, 5 to 15 or something, it's kind of this, like, moving thing. And in a way, I mean, I feel like I can put it in different, a little bit more defined tiers than that. But in a way, I actually really can appreciate what Brew is saying. Because you could make because it's fine if you think that Bo Nix is in this kind of group. But I guess my whole point is then you have to put a lot of these other quarterbacks in that group too. And yeah, I still haven't really figured out why so many people just don't like Bo Nix. And why someone like Drake May, who again, I appreciate and think it's going to have a lot of success, but I'm actually consistent, why someone's more willing to say Drake May will be great, but not Bo Nix. Based off of what? And how we saw last season unfold, even though one quarterback was clearly in a better situation, and I don't care about draft prospect, what it was seen going into the draft. I do not care. I do not care about what you did in college. Once you're in the NFL, what you did in college, 1000% does not mean anything to me. I don't even think about it for a second. It means nothing to me. Means nothing to me, nothing to me, nothing to me. But based on what we saw, why are you so confident saying that Caleb Williams is going to be great and be a top quarterback in the NFL, but not Bo Nix? Why does Caleb Williams have so much room to grow, but not Bo Nix? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't. those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos for that matter? Do you think it's crazy that they could win the division? Do you think Bo Nix is actually, what is it, the 18th, I think? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, the 18th quarterback in the NFL. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.